Hi everybody, just before the video starts, I want to apologize. I don't know what is up with my stupid PlayStation camera that is causing the audio and visuals to become desynced. And there is some audio popping in this file, and I'm not sure why exactly that it is like this, but I feel like my points are still good enough that I can show them. Just be aware that there is a lot of technical glitches in this video. So without further ado, here you go. Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super New10doh, and welcome to my review of How to Train Your Dragon 3. Now, I'm going to have the first bit of this be spoiler free, so if you want to go into this movie blind, you can. But the rest of this is going to be spoiler after that. But for right now, spoiler free. How to Train Your Dragon is the third. How to Train Your Dragon 3 is the third installment of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, made by DreamWorks, and it tells the the finishing saga to the story of Hiccup, Toothless, and Astrid, and the rest of the Burke riders. At least that's what I call them. I think they're called Burkians or something in this movie. And there's a new villain in town who wants to capture and kill Toothless. And in this movie, it introduces a new type of dragon, a female Night Fury, that is later called a Light Fury. So the race is on to protect Toothless, have Toothless gated on with this Light Fury, and defeat this asshole. And there might be some messages about friendship along the way. So, spoiler free, this movie is gorgeous. Oh my god. There were multiple points in this movie when I was watching it and be like, wow. Just, like, so many points in this movie. The music is fantastic for this entire franchise, and this movie is no exception. The voice acting is still really, really good. In fact, this movie is so good, it made me go bald! Ah! No, I just buzzed my head just because I felt like it. That's why I'm wearing the hat, so you don't get a bunch of, like, light glaring. I kind of feel like a movie director with, like, the beard and the hat and whatever. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I love the different types of dragons in this entire franchise. There's like over 100 different types, and each one is very unique from the others. And there's at least one new, well, counting the Light Fury, there's two types of dragons that I noticed that were introduced in this movie. And they're really, really cool looking. The Light Fury, it's basically a reskin of Toothless, but Jesus, it looks really, really good. It's like white, but it's got like sparkles on it. And it's got like these piercing blue eyes. And not once when I was watching this did I actually think of Yu-Gi-Oh! And be like, the blue eyes white dragon, Like, I heard so many people there were a lot of people in the theater. So I heard a lot of them crying, a lot of them gasping, and whatever. Like there were so many people that were just completely captivated by this movie, and I was as well. Like there were very manly tears shed. This movie has Vikings in it, and if the Vikings are allowed to cry, then by Hylia, you are allowed to cry too. I'm actually I was about to go to bed before I decided, I should probably do this review thing because I neglected to do it when I just got home. So, better late than never. Okay, so I think that does it for the spoiler-free side. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. If I had one regret with this movie, it's that I didn't see it in 3D. And also I had a headache going in, so the motion of the movie did not help with that. This is a fantastic movie, no alcohol required. Take your kids to see it. Go get some popcorn and just have a good old dragon time. Now on to the spoiler part. I'm just going to be jumping. I will give you guys 5 seconds. Okay, you have been warned. Alright, so in this spoiler-free thing, because it's been a little bit and my memory is terrible, I'm just going to be jumping around to different points that I liked and parts that I still remember. It's not that the movie isn't memorable, it's just my memory is shit. First bit, I'll start off with negatives just because I don't have a whole lot. There's this character with the black hair who is like the show-off. He's been there since the beginning, but I don't remember his name. Where he is like trying to show off and impress Hiccup's mom that was introduced in the last movie. And I hate that guy. I really do. The whole subplot of him trying to impress Hiccup's mom wasn't funny. There were many points in that where he's doing that and I'm just like, oh my god. Another thing that I did not like was the female character, Rough Nut, I think is her name. Or is it Tough Nut? The twins, those two characters I freaking hate. I get that's the point. They're idiots. They are socially inept and they're idiots. But I get that's the point, but it doesn't make watching them any more entertaining. I feel like they were more entertaining in the first movie, and I think the second movie too, because I don't think they actually were front and center as much as they are here. Like, the girl gets kidnapped, and it leads to a really funny scene, but the girl gets kidnapped by the asshole dude who's trying to kill Toothless, but it leads to a really funny scene where she annoys him so much that he basically lets her go, but it's just that. It's a funny scene, but it's like she's annoying me just as much as she is annoying the character, the bad guy. So I don't know. I think it's the voice. I think it's the voice of the character that bugs me the most. With her brother though, it's because he's very clearly an idiot, but like his heart's in the right place. Because like he spends a good chunk of the movie trying to give these emotional pep talks to Hiccup, but he's basically just like, hey, you need to walk right. You need to stop having like a squeaky voice or whatever. And it's just kind of, there's this one funny gag though with him throughout this whole movie that I actually did find funny. It was like he has his hair come down here, so it's like a beard, and he's very clearly like sensitive that he isn't able to grow a big full-bodied beard. I don't know if mine would be considered a full-bodied beard, but I have more of a beard than he does. And it's actually really funny because he's like, here, cry into my full-bodied beard. And there it leads to a really funny point later in the movie. Is like where he's fighting this one of the bad guy's minions, and he's like, do you think you can take on a beard this masculine? And then the bad guy misses with his sword and cuts his hair, but not like chops the whole beard off, but like cuts the hair off, so like the little hairpin thing is gone. So it's like it's just the bad guy's just like, I'm gonna go. That's hilarious. So yeah, that's all the negatives out of the way. I think I don't. The bad guy is fine enough. I kind of wish that he had a bit more depth, but it's fine. Now that's the bad out of the way. Now let's get to the good. Like I said in the non-spoilery part of the review, the movie is gorgeous. When they get to the new world and you see like this area with like all these neon colors, you see all these like dragon eggs and whatever, all the dragons lighting up in like neon and whatever. It's just I think I had my mouth open for like 5 straight minutes. It was just wow. And a lot of the points that I thought were going to be really, like, just, oh my god, why? The points where Toothless was trying to impress the Light Fury was, like, I thought those were going to be, like, oh, why are you doing this? But, like, no, they're really funny. And a lot of them kind of center around like actual animalistic behavior, which I think is really interesting. Where it's not like it is kind of romantic cliches, but you understand Toothless. He's the last of his kind pretty much, but here comes this female who looks really freaking good, and like not even like oh she's like sexy or whatever, but no, like I love the way this thing is designed. It's pretty much just a white Toothless, but it's like sparkly and whatever. It has the blue whatever. I already described it earlier. You can see it in the thumbnail. And it's just so cute as we see Toothless try to impress the Light Fury, and he does. And this Light Fury comes out of nowhere, but you don't need to have all the history of this thing spelled out to you. Just seeing how defensive she is, how repulsed by humans she is. Like when Hiccup tries to get even as soon as she sees Hiccup, she like shoots like little fireballs at him, and it's like, that's all you need. That is all that you need. She had a very bad experience with humans and has grown such a hatred towards them. Real animals do this. When you if you go to like a dog shelter and you find like this very mean dog, chances are the dog is mean because it was very mistreated by its previous owner or owners. Like getting kicked around, whipped, not whipped, but like kicked around, probably hit and whatever. Like that's gonna happen if you mistreat an animal, and you don't need this spelled out to you. So like you get it, and like with Toothless, and with Toothless trying to impress this Light Fury. I find it weird how, like, when I was basically not able to, like, understand Toothless, like, that's interesting, that's what he's saying. Like, but you understand what you kind of get the gist of what he's saying. And I love that about this franchise. like I said, the music is really good. I'm gonna play some here, but I can't play too much because copyright. But I'm gonna play some music here for you. Just booping around while I'm playing the music. Alright, so, like, the music in this movie is fantastic. I love it. And that ending, like, there were so many points in this movie that almost, like, got me with, like, that ending where where Hiccup has to give up Toothless is just, oh my god, that was so sad to watch. And it's not like treated as like a joke either. So many other movie franchises would just treat this like play up a joke right after. Like the whole movie has been basically building up to like Hiccup letting Toothless go into the wild basically. And when it finally so like it's building this up, and when it finally happens, it hits you really freaking hard. And to top it off, right after this, Hiccup and Astrid basically get married. Or no, not basically, they do get married. And it's really good. Like I honestly it's really, I love watching characters grow and develop and whatever. I hate it when characters are just static, they're the same and whatever. They're never hit with any new challenges and whatever. I hate it when that happens. Yeah, with this movie, the characters grow, they change, they evolve over time, and it's just so freaking good. And then, like, the end of the movie goes on to this, like, years later, I want to say, like, 15 years after their wedding, they go to the waterfall at the edge of the world. And they see Toothless and the Light Fury there. And they have little baby Night Furies of their own. They have 3 of them. And one of them that is like a light black, like, but it has like white scales on its back. One that is also like a darker black, but like the little ears, the edges are white. And then one that is white, but it has like, it's like the inverse of the one that was black with the white ears. And that's really cool because they could have very easily just made it like, oh, okay, the boys are just straight black like the dad, but like maybe the eyes are reminiscent of the moms or whatever. But no, they actually gave them very distinct physical designs. And like Hiccup and Astrid have 2 kids now who I don't think are actually given names. And like, it's been years, so Toothless takes a minute to recognize Hiccup because now he's got the full-bodied beard. He has a more epic beard than me, and that is a shame, but I do not care. And when Hiccup is trying to get Toothless to remember, he does what he did in the first movie, where he's like, and it's just seeing Toothless, like, just, wait, is it him? It is! It's just getting onto him, and it's just so freaking good. And, like, seeing the kids, like, super freaking terrified of Toothless, because all the dragons are basically gone. They're in the new world. And, or the hidden world, rather. And it's just, it's super funny watching them be scared. It's like, don't worry, Toothless isn't going to eat your father. And seeing Hiccup get his kids, it's like, here, put your hand out like this and let Toothless come to you. And then it ends with like Hiccup and Astrid riding their dragons, and like just they're flying through the air and doing the little thing where you like throw your kid up. But they're on dragons flying through the sky. It's awesome. And that was it ends like in the end credits you get like these different silhouette scenes that are going through the events of the previous two movies. And if there was an end credit scene, I didn't see it, but yeah. One other thing I really liked, and this is really jumping around, is the DreamWorks logo, because it's like when they're the little thing, it's not just, oh, they show the moon and then it goes to like a half crust and he throws the fishing pole or whatever. No. In this one, it's like you're just seeing this blue sky, and then you get all these clouds, and they're like they're painted on, basically, but you don't see the paintbrush. And then you see the moon be painted in, and it wipes, not like rotates, and it's just, that really got me excited for it. So, yeah, that has been my review of How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Really good movie. And I really hope they don't make a fourth one, just because the way this movie ended was so freaking perfect that I really don't want them to continue it. You know, it's like the ending to Futurama. Like, yeah, we could have another season, but I feel like that would take away from the ending. So yeah, that has been my review of How to Train Your Dragon 3. And if you excuse me, I'm going to bed. Hopefully when I see you guys next time, the stupid cough will be gone.